How's it going, everyone? Liam Catterson here with the OA Season 2, which is Chapter 2, Treasure Island, which is, of course, the place that Prairie is currently, I guess, locked up in. And she's confronted Hap, who is also from the original dimension that she is from, because we know that Prairie successfully dimension jumped. In the last episode, her body in the original dimension dying, and now she's took her doppelganger, her Nina doppelganger, and because everyone thought she was going crazy, she's now currently locked up in the psychiatric ward, so fun. Yeah, there's also some grim news coming into this episode, which is the fact that the OA Season 2 is going to be the last, which I'm sure was not the intention, especially since it seemed like Netflix had, by their own will, rather than Brit, has decided to cancel it, which does suck because you got shows like 13 Reasons Why, and then you got breathtaking shows like this coming to an end prematurely, but hey, it is gonna suck, especially since any potential push towards Season 3 is probably going to be null and void because of the fact that there is going to be no Season 3 unless it's picked up somewhere else, but I doubt that. Yeah, but I'm really looking forward to this all the same because episode 1 was a really good establishment of where we're going with season 2. We're focusing on 2 different stories, with Karim's story investigating Michelle's absence and how that links to that Q Sympathy, I think, is the app that the Brainbuster app, and of course Prairie's story, and we're gonna link them together in some capacity. So it should be very interesting stuff to see. But yeah, with that said, let's get on to Chapter 2 of, I was going to say Orphan Black. That's a show I wish that did still continue as well. See, I'm like, it's been a year, and I still love Orphan Black so much. No, but this is episode 2 of season 2 of the OA. Let's go. Very distorted. Oh, very distorted, but very pleasuring at the same time. Shapes into a door.
The body, and there's
the soul.
I love it. I love it. The Russian dolls.
Whatever. And evidently,
perfect.
It can jump into another dimension, leaving the body behind. Now my consciousness jumped.
It's not worth it at the end of the day. You may as well. You're dead in a quarter of an hour anyways. As much as I don't like him, unless he's playing. Yeah, he was not gonna kill Hap.
You okay? Maybe one day we'll find a dimension where you can see me with new eyes.
Oh, come on.
You okay, Doctor? Yeah. Just watch your head. Meals in the room. Total isolation until she can recover non-violent behavior.
You manipulative son of a bitch.
You're a monster, Hap.
To publish a feminist text, arming all of her accounts so she doesn't get hacked, doxxed, terrorized, stalked, you name it.
Right. So the usual. But how are you?
Sounds.
As big as
I was gonna say, some things are a constant, I guess, in
What
some
did the sexy brown
dimensions.
chicken say to the sexy brown cow?
People, pissy, etc.
Brown cow.
Chicken.
Fuck you,
What?
Graham.
You're a little Chinese American.
He's Vietnamese.
My mistake. It's just you and the Vietnamese gentleman.
Did he come
That's
through?
it.
It's ability that when she found out,
was too much for her.
everyone has their limits.
So they're
I need her back.
them two. Oh shit! But he doesn't.
Are you
He's
sure
not.
that's best?
Hunter.
What I'm saying is,
I was gonna say he's not
maybe
letting him know
given
about
her
the fact that
misgivings
she's
about
no
you.
longer Nina.
What about Rachel? Is her memory
Yeah.
also unique?
Rachel can't speak.
Oh shit! This
She
is
can't speak.
Aphasia. She can't form or understand words.
damn.
Brain
She
damage
didn't
from
win
a
on
car
the
accident that she had as a
dimension
teenager.
lottery. Holy shit!
What happened to Nina and Dr. Percy?
I don't care what happened to Nina and Dr. Percy. I want
Pierre
you to
does.
see me. Or like I was crazy. That is why I cannot give up on you. I will not give up on you.
This is heartbreaking because the ship doesn't exist. Some ships just don't in other dimensions.
Of a plumbing issue happening?
Wait.
Woo!
You don't understand what's happening out there right now.
I'm sorry, Nina.
They're coming
I wish I
together!
could let you socialize with the others, but I have to think of everybody's safety and well-being.
Plumbing
Stay with me,
issue,
Sazarova,
running
while
around.
I sort this
It's coming
out.
together. It's coming to, and the white hallway. Whoa! Look at that realistic with a crayon as well. Holy. Now that is beyond talent. That is inhumane. Like, in the snap of her fingers as well, basically.
You crazy. Keep away from me.
It's that trying to normalize this story, so her real story is crazy sounding. Oh, this is wholesome. Oh, Rachel. Oh. My heart weeps for her because...
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Two have broken no constitutional laws. But I have violated larger moral ones. There are many chances to atone, Dr. Rhodes. I'm offering you one.
It's that chance to do some good in this world. It's scary, but...
I think we're inside the dimension of Homer's NDE.
we are. I was thinking that this is his world
He's
he was
watching
going
us
to
now,
next.
Behind the
But
glass.
he's not here yet. It'd be so funny if he was just like asleep. Or
Overlap specialist. It refers to dream
I would do that the
overlap.
same with them.
And
That's
why
what
Ruskin
families
Howard
do with
lives. He
Monopoly.
finds
It's
the
just,
patterns
I'm
in
done.
their dreams.
I quit.
What's this got to do with... Yeah, they had nightmares about a war, and then there was a war. There's always a war. There's a river of blood out there right now. whether
Humanity
someone's
creates
dreaming
civil
of it or not.
war.
I knew someone would eventually find me.
So
glad it's you.
they thought it was like future
But I did
dreams.
dream it, Mr. Washington, and it did happen. If something from the waking world enters a dream, it's natural. If something from a dream enters the waking world,
It's not
well,
on.
that is unnatural. I certainly can't get that.
Come on, Karim.
It's a map. Perhaps building an interdimensional map.
Every dimension. Locating
Dr.
each
Percy,
dimension.
is
Like
that-
this dimension is this.
Why is he so afraid of us if we're just patients, huh?
Someone's a bit
You'll
paranoid.
never get to wherever it is you want to go. None of us will move with you or for you ever again. We'd rather die.
Incubus has a rover.
See, he's getting paranoid.
Sorry,
Why is he getting
everybody.
paranoid?
Carry on.
No wire. Here's your aircraft.
I mean, he could be hiding it.
Take this.
Yeah.
The dreams we collect are like any large sampling of data. A double-sided staircase and a rose stained glass window. I mean, There are
all of
millions
those
of
things
each of these things in buildings all over the
happened,
world.
even if it's
But there is
differently
only one building.
worded.
One building in the whole world which contains all three.
Doctor Strange's house! Just add the R in. Yeah. Homer. We're just bridging more things together. No, next stop, Treasure Island. I dare him to swim there, to be fair. With his shirt off again.
Oh, the house.
No, Liam doesn't like it. Liam doesn't like this whatsoever.
Here she comes.
Oh, Liam doesn't like this.
Come on.
Liam doesn't. What the?
It's remarkable.
What's going on? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What's...
I need you to understand something. What you saw in there is one of the greatest scientific achievements.
Yes! Holy shit! Oh! Oh! Oh no! No!
Rachel?
You didn't!
Rachel?
Fuck you! Ah. Was this back at Prairie's home? Okay, that was an interesting transition. We're gonna see the others again?
My name's not Michelle, it's Buck.
Hell yeah. Ooh. I think your mirror's supposed to function. Like... And shit, I just realized that Buck's mother called Buck Michelle. Wait, what? That's just clicked on like 10 seconds after the bloody episode. So, wait, was something going on with the mirror at the end? Because if so, then Buck and Michelle, that disappearance, I'm sure. It's just, I don't know, it just whooshed over my head, and then 10 seconds later, it just clicked to me that, Buck's mother, called for Michelle when Buck was like, that's not my name. So... Okay. It just clicked on for some reason, and, yeah. Hui. Come on, Liam, you got your coffee there. I am such an idiot, though. Like, it just, like, I stopped recording and I was like, wait a minute! Buck was called Michelle, so, there's obviously some kind of connection going on, and I'm sure, like, my eyes weren't deceiving me that the mirror created some kind of ripple effect, so... a portal, perhaps? Who knows? But yeah, that was pretty great stuff as we got further into what Hap is doing with the whole planning of creating an interdimensional map for to signify a bit, like, to give a better establishment of knowing which dimensions are linked to which one, because Hap lectured Prairie about the fact that she knew and he didn't, and there is that scary possibility where you could end up being in a case like Rachel where she couldn't speak. So, and this was the goldmine for Hap, because, like I think I said it in the last episode, but he's in a position where he is he's more... well, he's less vulnerable, should I say, than he was in the previous dimension, because he is now he's now like a doctor at a psychiatric ward. So every time someone like Prairie and co lashes out like we saw in this episode, no one's going to look at Hap with suspicion. So yeah, but now he's killed Rachel, which absolutely does suck after she saw something that was clearly disturbing. As if the plant thing, and I think it was Liam, yeah, because he has the same name as me, as if that wasn't disturbing enough. I'm wondering if that is the unnatural thing that Dr. Rhodes was talking about, because she did say something about um, her quitting because Ruskin was okay crossing some boundaries and that Rhodes wouldn't initiate in. And it was something to do with the dreams and how and its unnatural presence. Because she did mention about the fact that this all started in the 1920s when people dreamt about the Nazis, dreamt about World War II. And with that prior knowledge, with her knowing that, I don't think because she would have, like, if it was all down to the case of because she said something along the lines of if a reality enters a dream, that's okay, but if a dream enters reality, that's not okay. So I don't think she would establish herself with Curie if it came down to World War. I think it's something more unnatural because war is a common thing for the human race. In fact, it's one of the most common things because the human race are always in a constant civil war. So that's one of the most common things humanity has. It's sad to say that, but it's true. And it's not just guns and all of that. It's people's hatred to one another. It's like humanity's far from a peaceful race, and they never will be. So, and I think they explained that war is common. Like, so it is no surprise that something like that can become of a reality. Whereas something unnatural, like for example, a plant coming out of that's weird. That is super scary. But yeah, we found out that Curie is studying the dreams and they are collecting all of this data, and they found 3 things that are constant. They might be worded differently, but they all resonate to that house where Carmen went to before, but he didn't look into it. He stepped inside the house, but like I said, for my analogy, he only peeked in through the front window outside the house as a comparative analyst, I guess, of why Karen thought nothing of it because he was in the house before, because he only peeked out the front, which might make sense to why, because back at the station, they were talking about the fact that that Liam didn't enter the house. He only exited the house. So there might be some kind of secret way to get in, and maybe a secret room, since Carmen didn't fully go inside the house. So yeah. But yeah, it was a really great episode because we've got further information about the fact that this dimension is the dimension that Homer saw in his NDE. And it was just really interesting how they talked about like NDEs as some kind of form of time travel in a sense, because we and Homer got a glimpse of season 2 of the dimension that we would be faced with, and they talked about the hand and they talked about everything, the flooding, which we saw in season 1. So there is this sense of time travel, which does kind of relate to the dreams as well. It's time travel, but it's not in a sense, because you don't actually time travel to that period, but you get to see glimpses of the future. Like the dreams did, they got to see glimpses of the future. So there is that connectivity to the NDEs and the dreams, because they get to see glimpses of the future, like Homer did. He got to see glimpses of his of the future, of what would happen, I guess, to Prairie and everyone else, because Homer hasn't accessed it yet. Hasn't accessed it yet fully. So yeah, I'm not so sure if there's some kind of firewall preventing Homer from gaining access, or if he's coming through slower than before. But everyone else managed it, and I thought that was so wholesome, seeing Scott reunite with Prairie like that. It was a really beautiful scene, especially when he said, "This is the first time I've actually touched you. You're thinner than I would imagine." So I thought that was brilliant. And I felt so bad for Rachel, like I said, with the whole fact that she has, what was it, aphasia, I think it was, where she couldn't communicate at all, and that boded an advantage for Hap to continue his experiments until she got a bit she got a bit curious with the fact that he didn't close the door properly, so he was asking for trouble, to be fair. And yeah, that was the end of her as well. So yeah, but it was really great going more into this episode, especially with Homer growing a bit more of sympathy to Prairie. Of course, he was cataloging what was going on because Prairie had, in Homer's mind, a mind of her own, and he was being a scientist. He was interested in finding out what Prairie was up to with her conversations with Scott and all of them, because you mentioned them to Homer. Homer wouldn't particularly buy it, but he was interested in logging. Like Hap was technically interested in logging everything that his captives were doing. But yeah, it was a really great episode where we got to find out a lot of interesting bits and pieces about what was happening with Curie, what was happening with Homer and his NDE, and how everyone else got there as well, because we got to see how Homer and co, or how everyone from the captivity places, including Hap, managed to access this other dimension. And I thought the host would need to be dead at first, like Prairie's past life in the original dimension, I'm going to call it, because that's where we originated from. She died, and then came a trigger for Nina, which was a heart attack, and that opened the door. It's kind of like a wound. There was a wound in Nina's soul, and that allowed Prairie to take control of it. And yeah, gotta say, I love the Russian doll analogy, though. That was really, really brilliant. See, that's the thing, though, with Hap. He's such an interesting character, and he is evil, but he's got such a charm about him, and he's got such an interesting characteristic that you just can't help but... He's a character you love to hate so much, and he's just really, really interesting to go through, so yeah. But yeah, it was really great of an episode. There was some really interesting dialogues, especially coming out of the Dr. Rhodes and Carmen situation, especially since she went off around the same time as Michelle went missing, who could be Book. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be anyone else but Book, because that is a really, really strong coincidence, isn't it? With the fact that Carmen's story relates to the disappearance, like the main aspect for Carmen is the disappearance of Michelle. And now we've got Book's previous name, because Book is now the name, since we have that transgender thing going on. But yeah, it's no coincidence, is it? It will be very interesting to pick up from that, because we are now glancing back to the original dimension, which is great. But yeah, it's not a coincidence that it won't be a coincidence, because Carmen's main fixation, main story, should I say, is related around the disappearance of Michelle, and yeah, it's a pretty big coincidence, isn't it? If it was that, so it seems like Book's doppelganger went potentially disappeared, and the same thing might happen to Book if that mirror is of any indication, because I don't know about me, but during my 24 years of living, I've never seen a mirror do that, so yeah. No, but in all seriousness, I will be very well. It could open the gateway to, if that is some kind of portal potentially, it could open the gateway for everyone else to, like, everyone who knows of Book, like Steve, like BB-8, etc. They could follow through and, like I said, potentially help out Prairie, because she may be getting nowhere at the minute. But she might have help, because Karim, should I say, he wants a word with Prairie. So yeah, although he's under the assumption that Prairie is Nina, so that's going to be very, very fun stuff to see, because he has no idea what he's going to get, because he expects Pierre's wife, but he's not going to get that, because of course I guess Nina is dormant. So yeah, but it was a very great episode where we got a lot of juicy information, a lot of great scenes like the Russian doll scene and Rachel trying to describe what Hap is doing with the whole interdimensional map thing, and of course Prairie and Hap's first exchange at the beginning, especially with Hap explaining how he got into the next dimension. So yeah, but this was the OA. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my Media Pizza channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!